All right. A wonderful evening to all of you. A lot of people asking. Good morning. People have listened. Welcome everyone. Fireflies. Okay, that's yeah, Christine. I've got Lawal on Miami. I hope I'm not murdering people's names. I don't know if you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, just um drop an emoji or say hi. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Oh my, Lawa, thank you so much. All right, you can hear me. So, a wonderful evening to all of you here present at this webinar, the second webinar of the year, brought to you by Voiceverse NG. If you made it to our first webinar, that was last month, 7th of February, 2026. We talked about mindset. And today, being 7th of March 2026, we have a different topic to talk about, all for the good of everyone. So, welcome. If you've made it to this webinar, you're doing something great for yourself and for your voiceover career. Remember that learning never ends. So, you have to keep on learning, keep on evolving, and even keep on unlearning with the new things that we learn. Thank you so much for joining. While we wait for our guest speaker for this evening, do well to let us know where you're joining us from. I mean, this Zoom room is a beautiful one. You agree with me? So, wherever you're joining us from, just do well to drop your name and location where you're joining us. All right, I'm going to the comments. Well, thank you so much, Boyce, with you greeting us. Good evening to you as well. Where you join us from? Right. Okay, shout out to the entire Voiceverse members and everyone who is also here. And I would like to say a big shout out to the Voiceverse team. They've been working so hard to make sure that webinars and whatever is the goal of Voiceverse comes to life, which is amplifying the voices of every African voiceover artist, ensuring that you get that global recognition, that you are out there and everyone sees your talent. And not also there, but ensuring that there is something to learn every time, at least every month, there's something to learn, there's something to practice, and all of that. So shout out to the Voiceverse team for all the work that they do. And also, I would like to say a big shout out to the founder of Voiceverse, who's also here, the one and only T Code. Of course, he needs no introduction. He's been in the industry and he's really, really doing a lot. So, a big shout out to you, T Code, for all the things that you do, and of course, for coming up with Voiceverse. All right. I've been told that our guest speaker is here. Like I said, please drop your name, say hi to us, and let us know where you're joining us from. I've got voice with you saying from yeah, aka Theo, yeah, and it's good to be where you joining us from. You're not saying that. Hello everyone, my name is Omayami, joining from Warri Delta State. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Right, got more comments here. Okay. All right. So I want to let us know that Voiceverse has got us covered. This is the second webinar of the year, and yeah, I'll have more announcements by the end of this webinar. So do well to stay till the end. But in the meantime, we have many plans. Yeah, good ones for all voiceover artists to ensure that, said before, there's continuous learning, continuous activity, and we get that global recognition. All right, we're right on schedule, and very soon I'll be introducing the guest speaker for this evening. Yes. He told us here, okay, yes, I can see him. In no time, I would introduce him. In the meantime, I only have, I don't know, these guys. If you're here, this is the same as being in a live event. If you're here, those emojis have to start popping. Let's see some comments. And of course, if you have questions already about today's topic, which I'll be talking about shortly, do well to have them ready. And when it's time, you can then drop them. All right, so our last webinar was about mindset. But today, we are going to be talking about polishing your polishing your performance, level up, like taking it to the next level so that you can start booking those readings. There's a video I dropped. I was like, maybe you've lost your touch a little bit. Maybe there's something now missing. You never can tell because the industry may have just changed things a little bit, tweak things a little bit. So you need to stay updated. That's why webinars like this are always important. They come in handy a lot. People join, very good, very good. All right, so like I said, the topic for today's webinar is level up, polishing your performance to book real good, so that you can finally, have something from value to that talent of yours. And I mean, we thought about it and we said, Voiceverse, that there has to be just one name, who can do justice to that. And it's that moment for me to introduce our guest speaker for this evening, someone who we know the man needs no introduction, but for the sake of maybe somehow you're a newbie, or I'm not praying for that, but somehow you're in a coma or you went to the moon and then you're coming back, so you kind of missed out. The time frame from the moon to here is a lot. So I'm talking about someone who has nearly 20 years of doing voiceover. Like he's been doing this.
Actually, more than 20 years.
Oh, come on. I'm also talking about someone who has like the Oscar of voiceover. He has 2 Silvers Award to his name. And do you want to talk about performances, and brands that he has worked for? You want to talk about Pepsi? You want to talk about Techno? You want to talk about a lot of banks, EcoBank? You want to talk about MasterCard? You want to talk about The Voice Nigeria? I mean, the brands that he has worked for, top brands, it's countless. I can't mention all of them. And then, do you want to talk about him being a voiceover coach over the years? You want to talk about the genre of voiceover, the ones that he can do commercial. He's got it at his left hand side. You want to talk about explainer video or IVR. He's got it on his right hand side. You want to talk about animation. It's written all over his face. The man has everything. The man smells voiceover. If there's a voiceover perfume, he is the voiceover perfume. Guys, I'm talking about the man they call the Maximus. Please join me as I give you guys Eric Ekwueme. Welcome, sir. Come on, let's see those emojis, guys. Let's see those emojis. We've got more people joining, yes. Thank you, sir.
Hi, everyone. Guy Guy Greta. I hope I'm getting it right.
Yes, you're on point, sir. Always.
Okay, so I always wanted to find out what's the background to that name.
Oh, interesting. Guy is, I'm a Catholic, and we do this
Okay,
answering saint names. So we have Saint
okay.
Guy. We have Saint Guy,
Oh,
and
same
Guy.
guys.
Yes, we have Saint Guy actually, and Guy means
Okay.
guide. Yeah, Guy means to guide. And then Greta is derived from Margaret, just like Becky is from Rebecca.
Oh, okay.
So the same
Okay.
way people answer, the same way people join John and Paul to become from Paul, my parents decided to
I
join
get
Guy and Becky to become Guy. So
to
that's how the
become
name.
I get oh right.
And for
Okay,
the
okay,
rest of
okay. I
the
understand. I understand. Okay, okay. At least that answers my question. Hi everyone. I hope you all are doing good. It's been a crazy day for me, but I'm happy to be here. Tico told me about this, I think over a month in advance. And I was like, why am I teaching again? I don't want to teach anybody. I just want to be on my own. But it happens. You guys are one of the fastest growing communities in the voiceover industry. That's the Voiceverse industry community. I'm happy with the growth you guys are having, and I'm happy that T Code believes in helping you guys get to the next level as much as possible, which is why I'm here today. Um, so yes. I'm not the kind of person who does like PDF or PowerPoint presentations. I prefer to do, like I scribble my thoughts because I have gained 20 odd years in this business and I've watched three different dispensations of the business. And the current one we're in, but trying to stay relevant in these times requires that you understand the dynamics and changes in the market. And I think a lot of talents today are having that issue in leveling up because they fail to understand these issues. So at any point in time that I say something you don't understand or you want me to make a reference to, please do not fear. I am not one of those teachers that will flog you for raising your hand. So, Biko, I'm using God to beg you. Ejim Chineke we na ayoge. If you have question, raise your hand. Oh, thank you. So yes, I've not just had the opportunity of being a professional voiceover artist, I've also been a producer, especially in the last couple of years. There have been brands and clients and agencies who have reached out to me to say, Eric, we're looking for a younger version of you, or we're looking for younger artists who will do a job, but we don't trust them enough to do the job. We would like you to produce them. And I have no problem doing that. My problem usually starts when you call them. Um, I'm a firm believer. I've been fighting for um, the protection of voiceover artists in Nigeria for as long as I remember. I joined AWA about 13 years ago. I've been fighting for the protection and preservation of the art in Nigeria. So I've always believed in certain principles when I reach out to people to get work done. And when I start to work with them, so many things start to stand out to me. And I ask myself, how will these people last in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years? Because I'm not worried about AI per se, because at the end of the day, what will happen will happen. But I worry for a lot of the newer generation of voice actors because I put on my radio or I listen to TV and I'm like, how did they allow that run? and everybody's so I want to land this job. I want to get this job. I got this client. I threw it on social media. They are so concerned about that they don't realize that there are certain things they need to look out for. So as quickly as I can, I will elaborate on these things that you need to look out for to level up your game in this voiceover industry. Now, I started to sit down and ask myself this question. Looking at the voiceover industry today, what would I say are the performance issues that would limit an artist from leveling up, from consistent work, and from return clients? Because see, these are the three things that come to mind when you're transcending from just being a voiceover artist who got training to being a professional voiceover artist, as I currently do. You're always going to ask yourself these questions. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? These limits, these performance limits. Now, I'm not going to dabble too much on the non-performance based limits, but I'm going to elaborate a lot, expatiate on the things we need to change as artists. Sorry. Now, one of the first things I noticed in my when I was wearing my producer hat was I noticed that there was a poor or weak script interpretation from all the artists. You see, one of the biggest problems of the 21st century, of the 2026 artist, is that they are so self-conscious and self-absorbed. Now, I tell T-Code all the time, I'm a Gen Z, which she doesn't believe because I've been 25-year-old, I've been a 25-year-old for over 15 years. But I'm still a Gen Z at heart because I understand your generation. However, I think some of the issues of your generation interfere with the way you guys see things. So there's a poor attention span attached to being a Gen Z. And I don't know, I've not had the chance to look at the participants list today, but if I I don't know if there are up to 5, 10 of you who are above 35 years old. Are there? Are there? If you are, please make yourselves known, no, so that I will not go and say that, I insulted people. I am not one to insult people. Let me see. I'm looking at the messages now. Anybody who is above, of course, okay. My eternal voiceover sister is here. So Christiane, Christiane, when are we doing birthday? I know it's in a few days. Anyway, but looking at the message here, people are not. I can probably. I would look at say Christiane. Obviously, Christiane is not a Gen Z, even though she passes as that. The thing about my generation is that we look spotless. Christian, you understand. But so the problem with that is this. Because of your short attention span, there's also a short time given to scripts. So you get a script. You see, there's a reason why certain artists stay longer in this business. And one of those things is interpretation. When you get a script, it's not just about reading your lines. It's about understanding the story. When you understand the story, you will understand the role you play in the story. And when you understand where you play in the story, and then you also need to understand who your audiences are. Because the story you would tell, it's just like I'm sure a lot of you have already gone through Bridgerton. Now, Bridgerton is not for everyone. If you're an African magic kind of person, Bridgerton is not for you. Because it's high society, dearest gentle reader. They look down on the way people think and talk. They don't care about the way you posture and make nuances. It's not the hey, have you seen the party? Don't break. Oh. Two different audiences. Now, you cannot use the interpretation for Bridgerton to do Africa Magic and vice versa. And that is where a lot of artists have poor interpretation. Now, another trend I've noticed, I'll still come back to script interpretation, but another trend I've noticed is that there are tons of artists who sound alike. Tons of artists who sound alike. It's easy for me to pick up or listen to social media and I'll say, oh, this is Shoma BBB. Oh, this is Ahide. Oh, this is King E. Even as far as saying, oh, this is T Code, or this is Voice of Steph. They are much newer than I am. Then if you want the continental flavor, you hear, oh, this is Ladani. Oh, this is Christiane. Continental voices. But then you hear some voices and you're like, now who be this? Until you open the video and then you realize, oh, now this guy, why he sound like this other guy? Oh, now this chick, why she sound like that other chick? Because there is no vocal identity. You guys, in trying to learn to become voice actors, you didn't consider your vocal identity. I, Mazino, and one other artist, we have similarities in our voices. However, if Mazino talks and I say the same thing, you will tell the difference. Mazino has a sing-songy, milk and honey thing. I'm more of the Ashewo voice. So I'm not going to be doing sing-song, milk and honey. No, I appeal to what makes you you. I don't care about any other thing. I want what you want. That's my thing. And then there's the other guy, and he's a little more on the firmer side. And that's how, if you hear it, you can tell, oh, this is this person, or that is that person, or that is that person. But a lot of you have similar sounding voices. And what happens with similar sounding voices is that you become replaceable. I know I did not want to shake the table, but unfortunately, I will tell you the truth as it be. So, let's go back to some of the other issues um, affecting voice actors. Well, I'm looking at, let's see, what did I write here on my screen? What I did was that I wrote something on paper and then I just scanned it with my printer and put it on my screen. So forgive me. Let's see. Yes, inconsistent audio performance. Now, I understand that we're now in the era of home studios. Yeah. And it's important that, as a growing voiceover artist, you have a home studio where you practice, where you check your levels, because you never know. You never know. Tomorrow, you might be landing an international job, or you have somebody who wants to get a Nigerian job done, but they don't want the wahala of dragging you to a studio. But then it's one thing to have the equipment. It's another thing for you to use the equipment. Because take, for example, there was a job I did. T-Code is aware of this job. It was a Coca-Cola job. And one of the artists, the energy she started with at the beginning was not the energy she ended with at the end. And her character had a consistent flow. However, she didn't. So the beginning was all energetic and juicy and yeah, and NEPA take light halfway through and then inverter off at the end. So your pacing, your energy, your pronunciation. These are things that make your performances come to life. You see, one of the things I warn artists about is that when you start to land big jobs, sometimes you forget that you're in your own head. I don't land Pepsi, I don't land Coca-Cola, I don't do MTN, I don't do Nine Mobile. So what is this guy telling me? I am not B. You see me, oh, me, where my career even, okay, to a certain extent, my career is as old as some of you. And yet, if I walk into a session and then there's a producer, I answer to the producer. If I'm not called into a session as the producer, I answer to the producer. And these are things that they could call me out on. So one of the things that could be limiting you is your ability to take direction or the speed at which you adapt to the direction. So it's not just about the pacing, the energy, delivery. It's also about when there is a directed session or there is a brief on how they want it, do you pay attention? Let me give you an example. I was given a job a few weeks ago for a family cooking brand, and I was playing a particular character. And the producer gave me a script. And I looked at the script, and normally, not like myself, I don't visualize the whole thing because, like I said, you need to pay attention to not just your lines, but the entire story. And I could tell there was an issue with the script already. Because you see, there are some writers who write, it's just like voice artists, they write what's in their head without visualizing the picture. But at that point in time, when it was a directed session, did I have any right to point that out? No. What I did was, to the producer who was my friend, I sent him a private message in the middle of the session. I'm like, oh boy, wait till when I not look the script, you not see say kiniko 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 kiniko. He said, now true. I said, not talk. I'm here to make we voice the script as he be. Then you can now suggest and say, oh, I have this thought that why don't we imagine it this way? And then I'm like, yes, my thoughts exactly. And then I can now give my own interpretation of what the script should be like. The one thing you cannot do, because say you don't land big jobs, is believe that, I'm beyond correction. After all, I did MTN last week. I did something for the government 2 weeks ago. So who is this person to tell me that my pronunciation of the word is wrong? Is wrong. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. Now, the only times where you can actually challenge something like that is if the thing is going to destroy your reputation. And I will give an example. At the Voiceover conference, I think it was 4 or 5.0. No, I can't remember exactly which one, but it was the last one that was held at what's it called? The one opposite after 4 points, opposite 4 points. Anyway, so Mazzino brought up the conversation, and that's because Mazzino's partner was the one who gave me the job. And in the job, the client says, now, I want you guys to unmute your mics, and I want the pronunciation of this word, Heirs. I want you to unmute your mics, and I want to unmute your mics and tell me the pronunciation of Heirs or Heir. Heir. Anybody? Anybody? I know they muted all of you, but it's not a bad idea that if I get to hear anything. Yes, I want the pronunciation of that. I want the pronunciation. I want somebody to read, to say it. I want to hear somebody's voice say it.
Um, can can I go? Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
So where I come from, the authors, we have a challenge with H. So I don't know. Let me say hairs. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Do we agree with her pronunciation? Do we? If we don't agree with it, is
Yes,
there any
I do.
contrary? Is there any contrary pronunciation? Voice with fear. What are you saying? Transcribe. I hope you guys are not opening Google documents, Google and ChatGPT to get pronunciation. No. Others, I'll put my hand in your eye. Anyway, but do we all agree with her pronunciation of the word? Do we? Speak now or forever hold your pieces of cloth. Okay, you can't speak at the moment. Okay. For those who can speak, who accepts. Do we? Okay. Okay. So let so that we don't dwell on this for too long. The pronunciation of the word is actually as. The H is silent. You don't say heir apparent. It's the heir apparent to the throne. The word heir means next in line. So heirs insurance, the H is silent. But you see, the problem about Nigerians is that we want our brand to have a particular name. But we know they ask, how is this name pronounced? So the brand can't tell me anything about the pronunciation. They sent me I had done the demo for them through a different company, and they liked the demo, but they liked the demo, but they didn't like the company who brought the demo. So they gave the job to Mazino's friend who sent it to me. And then I did the job and I sent it to them. And I heard, oh boy, this is not fly you. Say, why? Say, you kept on saying airs. I say, yeah, it's an air, not an hair. It's an heir to the throne. Heirs insurance. And he kept on saying, no, that's not what it says in the song. Unfortunately for him now, he listened to the song over the phone. Me, I listen to the song over speakers or headphone. I'm not here. Obviously, the singer, it's in proper English B. And the person said, heirs. And they said, no, it has to be hairs. I said, sorry, I'm not fit talk hairs. No, I'm not fit. And it was good money. And it wasn't just one job, it was a league of jobs. I think it was about 6 different scripts. And I turned it down because if I go out and say hairs, what justification do I have to be an authority in the voiceover business if I cannot correct the word heirs? Or was it the one that I did many years ago where, hey, what's the word again? I'll remember as the time goes. But you see, you need to understand that even though the piper dictates the tune, there's a limit to the parts where you'll play as dumb or zombie. You see, those parts where without making them look bad, you try and correct his script, they have it at the back of their mind that, oh, this artist is intelligent. So I don't just need him or her for just the voiceover. I can actually brainstorm with the artist. That's why a lot of productions had us involved because we brainstormed with the client, or we brainstormed with the production company, or we brainstormed with the producer, or we brainstormed with the writer of the script, because we were always involved in every process. A lot of voiceover artists start from beginning till end of the process, or the production process, because they feel it's like part of their thing. Okay? So that is something you can also consider as one of the reasons why you're not leveling up. If you go into a job and you just wait to be told what to do because the piper dictates the tune, it's a good thing, but you won't get far. Okay. Now, I think one of the major factors also affecting the voiceover industry is that nowadays, with the current nomenclature, y'all want to be called voice actors, not just voiceover artists, which is good. But you see, voice acting is an aspect of voiceover. And voice acting actually pertains more to dramatic, narrated, or discussed kind of scripts. You can't put voice acting into documentary. So if you want to be called voice actor, oh, well and good. But then you now want to be answering voice actor. Can you act? No, can you act? So I did a job with, I'm sure you guys know him, David Atta. I did a job with David Atta. And when he sent me the original, when he wanted to do the original, when he recorded the original audio, as good as it wasn't believable. Because they wanted an ASMR, that's in all those where every effect, every sound is introduced to it. And the minute I saw the script as ASMR, I don't already give heads up, oh boy. They don't want regular acted radio. They want to feel as if they are inside the radio. So David went to his wife's kitchen, took meat without her permission. Don't ever say, if I hear it from any of you, I will know it is among you guys that are here that said it to David, because I knew it was without his wife's permission. Took without his, because obviously I heard in the background when she came and smacked him for taking. But these are the things we do because our job is about recreating reality. And then he had to recreate the moments. Now, because we were to switch parts. Oh, David don't shout. Hey, wait, David don't join up. Hey, war. All right. What was said here cannot be used in any court of law. If my name comes up, I won't know. So, but the thing is, while David was also sourcing out meats for his scene, just because we might switch parts, I had to leave the studio, find Booker. And I intentionally asked them at the Booker, I want your most peppery meat. Because the effect was that we had to recreate the effect of pepper while conversing. So it wasn't that kind of pepper that, not that type. The type that, okay, yes. This one, this was hot. But you see the recreation of the effect. Now, a lot of artists, especially this generation, and okay, I won't say this generation because even that's one of the reasons why lots of people, when I enter the business, are not still, they're not relevant today because they didn't understand that times change and you change with them. When you don't take your time, and David is fantastic at visualization. When David did that recording, as in, I was like, there's no point. We're not recording my own. We're not recording my own. This one where David records. That's the one. Because it sounded real. So was it a surprise that David ended up doing the TVC for Coca-Cola a few weeks later? It wasn't. Because he has proven beyond doubt he can defend the act of acting. So when you want to answer the word voice actor, you also need to take acting skills, acting classes, acting improv, especially improv, because some of the best jobs that have come out from here were improvised. It wasn't on the script. Eweleke, that people use for like 4 or 5 years. Not the script. All the in all the scripts. All the yeah. When I don't hear them, in all the scripts. All the you now you had to talk to now. In all these scripts, it's improv. If you cannot recreate the ability to sound as if you are in the scene, then you don't have any business calling yourself a voice actor. So go and take some skills. These are the things that help you level up. Because when you are great, when you are talented and you can back it up with ability, one builder say they'll come back again. Say that what? They will come back. Because this job is mainly about consistency and bringing back return clients. Because when you do, you see, when you do one good job, it brings in another 5 great jobs. But when you do one bad job, it locks you off from 100 opportunities. So let that sink in. Let's see. Yes, I mentioned this earlier. Lack of audience awareness. When I talk about script interpretation, you cannot take the interpretation of a commercial and apply it to IVR. Now, I'm not going to mention names, but you'll figure out what I'm talking about. IVR is supposed to be an interactive voice response kind of situation. So it's like talking to customer care without having to see customer care. Like, sorry, all our customer care representatives are busy at the moment. Please try again later. Or to speak to our customer care representatives in English, please press 1. The idea, it's supposed to be conversational. And then recently I heard one that says, the number you're calling is unavailable at the moment. Please try again later. I'm sorry, what are you trying to do? Are you seducing me? At the vex side, the check call person, they go through. You are whispering sweet nonsense. If I put my phone on speaker now, my wife hears it. Would you not think that somebody was the number you're calling is available? Really? The number you've dialed is switched off. In a sexy tone. You're okay. You're okay. Okay. And please don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that some clients will not take it because it ran. It's running. However, I don't think sensibly it should be renewed. I think the artist should really take it because it should sound. So it's just like doing a narrative. You're telling a company's story. Now, if you're telling a company's or a brand story, you need to understand the brand. A lot of people just get the script and like, okay, this textile company, okay, blah, 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 blah. ABC Textiles Nigeria Limited was founded in 1927 by, it's cool. It's a standard style. But if you do ABC Textile Company was founded in 1927 at a time where textiles was hard to come by. Are you not telling a better story? Now, tell me the 2 artists. Who do you think the brand would want? But you cannot do commercial style. ABC Textiles was founded in 1927. If I conquer. And I have seen tons of productions where the person, are you shouting at the clients? They owe you money. And you wonder why they don't come back. Now, I'm going to bring up another one that I think is a growing problem. So, yes, the AVWA rates were released in 2023. And the rates were had a specific clause that said that you had the right to decide your fees. There are artists that are so hell-bent on how much they would make that they don't consider the amount of performance required to keep the client returning. I have seen jobs, I have produced jobs where the clients liked the person's demo, but didn't like the person's eventual performance. And meanwhile, if you hear how much the artist was asking for, you will say, God, when? God, when? And sometimes I just shake my head because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool that you're asking for this amount. It's cool that you're knowledgeable about what you want to ask for. Because yes, your value should not be determined by someone else. However, do you think, before God and man, do you think you're that valuable with the performance that you just gave? Do you think that even you would hire yourself with that performance that you gave? So these are the various things that I believe are holding people back from leveling up. Poor interpretation to your script, your limited vocal versatility, your inconsistency with your audio. Oh, there's even one I didn't bring up, your poor mic technique. So, this is a Blue Yeti microphone. I can use this for videos like this Zoom. I can use it in fact, I've used it on various stuff, but I wouldn't use this to record a voiceover because even though in my treated space it works wonders, I know the kind of mic it is, and it's the first generation USB mic, so it's not as wonderful as some of the mics that exist today. In fact, let me tell you how bad it is. At the back of the mic is currently on 0 gain, 0. But some of you would notice that sometimes when I speak, it peaks. So imagine say I increase the volume. It's a powerhouse. But then an issue would now be, oh, because you don't understand the differences in mic usage, you're going to speak directly into the mic and they're popping, and when you're doing popcorn, and P's and B's and T's and C's and everything sounds like Guy Greta said it, Iwa. Everything will be like thunder, boom, 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 boom. I'm sorry. How are you going to enjoy such a performance? And then you send that file out. Now, let's assume the producer can, help you with the plosives and everything. But the first thing that comes to their mind is like, the amount of work required in cleaning up this person's audio. Oh, wow. And you don't want that. You don't want that. You want your process to be as seamless as possible. They need to enjoy working with you than thinking it is a chore. He has talent. She has ability, but she knows how to use this microphone. You don't want that. It might be inconsequential, but these things also deter you from being consistent and getting return clients, and thereby you cannot level up. So, underacting, overacting, that was or lacking authenticity, basically. That's what the thing I wrote down. Weak storytelling ability, your limited ability to adapt to direction, and your audience awareness, plus overemphasis on money over ability, over delivery. In essence, what I'm saying to you guys is you need to work on your acting skills, your technical skills, and your client awareness. Those are basically, that's all you need. It's not rocket science, but it comes from practice. And it comes from understanding the things required of you. It's not just about taking one script and voicing it. It's great. But you see, when every job you do sounds the same, Coca-Cola and Bonvita might be regarded as food beverages, but you can't give them the same kind of energy. because Bonvita is a family brand and Coca-Cola is an everyday brand. Salt and Maggi, they are both used in the kitchen, but you can't give them the same feeling. Salt is supposed to act as the last topping. The Maggi or Knorr, whatever you're doing, is acting as seasoning and thus should be treated as seasoning. So you need to understand the differences between these brands. MTN and Glo and Nine Mobile and what's Airtel, they don't have the same audiences. They don't have the same mannerisms. Or let me say it correctly, mannerisms. Well, they talk about mannerisms because you know, in Nigerians, if I say mannerisms now, I'm not going to understand. But that's the truth. They don't have the same. So you can't take confession. There was a time where I would, 4 different agencies that were in the same vicinity. I would do MTN, I would leave, then I'll get a call by the another agency and I'll show up there and it turns out to be a Glow script. And I'll leave there and then Nine Mobile was calling me and I'll finish from that one and then Airtel was doing it. And they all were doing competing things, but I didn't give them the same feel. MTN were pushing that particular project towards campus students. So like, hey guys, what's happening, y'all? But Glow was looking at the more advanced kind of people like, and my dear people, this is what we're looking for in you. Nine Mobile was trying to form hip but young. So they are not university people, but you know, they are not old people. So they were doing the whole, yo, my guy, how now? How I can, and then Airtel wanted to be corporate. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this. They all had the same product, but they had different ways of addressing that product. So you get low to 9. The ability to discern this is one of the reasons why you've not grown. But I'm not saying you, I'm saying why a lot of artists have not grown. So it's important that you understand that brands have identity. It's important that you also understand that your performance has to match your what? Demo reel. Because if you do a fantastic demo, maybe Voiceverse does one fantastic demo for you and you cannot match the performance because T-Code was basically directing you. But then when you now finally reach in front of clients, because T-Code, you can't hear T-Code's voice in your head again, you go and do anyhow. Or Daza gives you one reel like that you know will cook in front of any crowd. But then you reach in front of clients and Daza is not there to direct you. And then you go and do what? Mess up. Or King E does you one demo that will open doors, and then all of a suddenly, you can't remember everything that he taught you because you were more focused on just listening to do the demo than actually understanding the instruction to do the job. So please, let your work match or even outshine your demo. Thank you. Another thing I could say could also affect you. Like, remember I was talking about your work, that working with you shouldn't be a difficulty. It also means your efficiency. I'll give you a short story. There was this voiceover legend at the time, and he had this way of doing things where when he shows up to do his job, everybody clears the studio. He don't day inside there. Now, see the funny thing, and I know eventually if he ever hears this thing, he'll curse me, but hey, your curse will not enter. No weapon fashion against me shall prosper. No weapon. Anyway, so there he was. He came in. It was a job for Malta Guinness. Now, Malta Guinness is an energetic brand. Or they portray themselves as an energetic brand. And he had just a one-liner. I had the bulk of the work. I was going to describe what Malta Guinness does for you, and this, and that, and this, and that. His own was the one-liner. 30 minutes. And never finished the one-liner. And I mean, they don't give him the other parts. And then the door opens. The brand manager, the marketing manager, and the artist come out and they were like, you know what? Take a breather. Is Eric? Eric, come first. Let us quickly, look at your lines before we go back to his lines. And I go inside. Now, I'm not bragging or anything, but probably because I knew what I wanted to do, and because I had experience working with Malta Guinness, Amstel Malta, and Maltina, so I knew the differences in what they wanted. And I was king of promos at the time. So door opens after 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'll see you guys later. And then this guy, now mind you, when I wanted to become a voiceover artist, he said to my face, Eric, you don't have what it takes to be a voice actor. And it almost crushed me because I looked up to this person. I have known this person since 1993. So for him to say that to me, it hurts. It hurts. I I almost gave up on being a voice actor. It was a friend of mine, and I will always call his name Leo Love Daddy Abulu. He said to me, yo, one guy says you can't do voiceover artists and you want to agree. Your voice has gone through Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Ethiopia, and Kenya. They are calling you. You did training for voiceover artists in Ghana in 2008. Then one guy comes and tells you, oh, I don't think you have what it takes to be a professional voiceover artist, and you believe him because he's somebody you know, somebody you respected. And I believe him. And thank God I listened to Leo, because if I didn't, I would have ended my career right there. But you see, when I came out after 5 minutes and I greeted everyone, the look he had on his face was like, I'm eating my words. And that's my challenge to you. Make your critics eat their words. Make your critics say, I did not realize that they have leveled up. Wow, this is good. So if you feel in your career that you haven't done or you're not where you should be, it's fine. Step back, reevaluate. What am I doing wrong? What have I got? First of all, identify the things you're doing right. Now, when I say this next part, it will be like I'm looking for trouble, but I do look for trouble. One of the problems your generation have is because of what I call algorithm relatable artists or algorithm prominent artists. So people with sabi social media, they don't go social media. So they now, everybody is a coach, everybody is a mentor, everybody is wanting. And it's cool. The Bible doesn't say that, knowledge only comes from those who are elderly. No. There's actually part of, I can't remember the particular verse, but the Bible also says that, do not despise even young ones who are blessed with the gift. So I don't see anything wrong in younger artists teaching, but you need to back it up with your performance. If you're going out and you're teaching artists to be A, B, C, D, and you are not just a teaching artist, you're a working artist. Now, teaching is a gift. Even people who are great at this job might be terrible teachers. So teaching is a gift. You might be a great teacher, but if you are also a working professional, I take God beg you, back it up. Don't just teach. Practice what you teach. Practice what you preach. Thank you. So what I can tell you guys is that avoid these algorithm celebrated artists. Look for people who have put their foot in the sands and are willing to grow for the sake of the trade. Not the people who come and say it was God's grace. It was God's grace. God gives grace to everyone. Everyone. You just have to tap into it. My point here is find a mentor, somebody who will guide you step by step from point A to point B, somebody who's willing to tell you your faults, somebody who's willing to grow with you, somebody who's willing to say, stop, come back, do it again. And somebody who is not willing, who is willing to sacrifice to watch you grow. Somebody who's willing to tell you the truth as it is, not because of the money you pay. When you know you need to take a step back, they will be the ones to tell you, I know you are paying this money, but right now I think you need to step back and work on A, B, C, D, E. Don't worry, one of these days, I'll do one content on qualities of a mentor so that maybe you will use your own eye and find out who are the real mentors around here. And unfortunately, the real mentors in the voiceover industry are not on social media. They are on social media, but they don't do contents like every day. They're not like our guys, T-Code, Daza. Those ones are. I'm a student of T-Code and Daza when it comes to content. So, I mean, they're students. I don't know everything. Give me a mic in front of a crowd of 1,000 people, I'm great at it. Put me in front of a mic to do a voiceover job, I'm great at it. Tell me to do content. Wah, wah, wah. That's not my thing. So you need to have these different things to help you grow in your business. I think I've just about addressed the issues. I know T-Code sent me a workflow for how this Kiniko is supposed to go down. Let me see the overview. How long am I supposed to talk for? Hey, Wuchimo, I have overshot it. Okay, so this is the point where I open up for questions so that you guys can tell me, what you've heard so far, what you think I might be shaking table or the one I'm not shaking table. Thank you all very much for listening. I hope this few points of mine have been able to prove to you beyond all reasonable doubt that girls are better than boys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The man they call the Maximus. Thank you so much. Like I don't even have the words, so I want that everyone listening. I'm not sure they have the words as well. So, but it's time for questions. I mean, this was fine. The thing is, I don't know why we're not doing a lot with the emojis. In the comment section. This is the
No,
same thing.
I see them. Oh, I see them. I see them. I see them. Sometimes I'm almost distracted by them. Don't worry, I see them.
All right, all right. So time for those questions because I mean, we learned myself. I learned a lot. I don't know about you. I'm sure you did because this is amazing. It's two daffodils, it's three daffodils, it's four daffodils. So please drop the questions. Um I'll be here to read them if Uncle Eric wants me to, so you can see them as well.
Why you say Uncle Eric? Me and you are we're age mates now. Why you say Uncle Eric? We're age mates. Can't you wait. For those of you looking at your screen now, see Guy Greta, see me. Are we not age mates?
Yes, now I agree with you. Anything you say, anything.
And he's calling me uncle, and you are there and you're watching him calling me uncle.
All right.
Uncle wound you there. Eternal Gen Z like me. Do you see any white hair anywhere? Do you see any white hair anywhere?
Emmanuel is saying yes, so okay, I agree. I agree. Please, those questions, the webinar has been so great. It's been so great. I mean, see, Ancestor Eric. See, these are the things. These are the things.
Jesus. David, I know where you live. David, I know where you live. Okay.
We should have voiceover artist police and army. So you could.
No, we already have. Vocal expressionist said I have to come to the station.
True.
I'm not shown up at the station yet because I know my crimes are plenty.
All right, let's get those questions.
If there are no questions, it means people enjoyed my class and you understand everything. Yes, I can see my birthday mate. I can see my sister. Huh. My God will judge or people who are calling me ancestor, Amy ancestor, Amy eternal Gen Z. Okay. Please provide a simple roadmap how we can hone our crafts. Could you pronounce your name properly? Because I'm seeing Yemi and I'm seeing Oma. So I don't want to tabon Oma Yemi. Is that correct? Is that correct? Omayemi. Right, good. So Omayemi asks, please provide a simple roadmap on how to hone our craft. I've always said to people that I don't believe that it's enough to do one of these traditional 50-man classes, 20-man classes. I've always believed a one-on-one is the best way to go. A one-on-one is still the best way to go. One-on-one mentorship will always trump. It's just like, university days. Everybody is in the class, 500, 200 students. Everybody graduates with a degree. But how many people end up working in the sector? It's the people who were intentional about learning. And being intentional means getting a mentor, a coach, somebody who's going to guide you on your way. That's the first step. Another step, or another thing I think should help you, is your calling card, your CV, which is your demo. Your coach or mentor will guide you in not just in your abilities, but how to get a good demo that you can defend. That's very important. And then you need to work on your marketing skills. So take everything I've taught you today, add that with one-on-one mentorship and marketing skills. Like I mentioned to you, overall, it boils down to three things: your acting skills, your technical skills, and your client experience. If you can learn how or client interactions, if you can master these three things and add that with mentorship, everything will go steady well. Okay, next question is coming from Emmanuel DK. Don't I know this Emmanuel DK? How long would you suggest someone should take when he or she wants to lay back? It depends on it differs from person to person because I know people whose recovery times are 1 week. I know people whose recovery times are 1 month. I know people whose recovery times are 1 year. But what is more important than the time you take is the learning within the time that you take. You need to find your footing. If you're one who takes time to learn things, take your time to learn things. This is not a business that ends when you get a particular age. I know people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s who are still voice actors, especially when they have great agents or great marketing skills. As long as you have the ability, why not? So, and how would you take it? How would you um, get back into the market after taking your break? Your demo reel, your social media presence, your marketing. You see, you're going to portray being the next best thing after jollof rice. And you need to be able to back it up with your abilities. If you can't back it up with your abilities, oh yes, now I remember. Yes, I know you, the tallest voiceover artist in Nigeria. Yes, I do know you. Yes, now I do remember. Yes, Voice with Theo has a question, and she has a hand raised. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening, Eric. Good evening, Guy. Good
Good
evening, everyone.
evening.
I'll just go straight to my question. It's quite personal.
Okay.
So, I've been a voiceover artist, just recently left the stage of beginner. I've been putting in some work, but I have this challenge where I have a general kind of voice, I think, and from reviews I've gotten, I've been privileged to be in same space with people like King E and Chema BBB. They've given me their reviews, and most times when I deliver my work, the response is the delivery is okay, right? So I think I have a general voice, a general kind of voice. A lot of people have my type of voice, right? I think so. What would you advise someone like me? I've always known this. I don't really hype my deliveries because I feel like everyone else can sound like me. Some people come to my DM and say, did you do this? Did you voice this? And I'm like, no, that's not me. So I don't have a unique voice. What I try to do sometimes is be versatile with my accents, or I speak Igbo, I voice in Igbo and the rest of that. I try to do that, but I don't know if it's enough. And you mentioned it while you were talking. So I was wondering what you would
Yes.
tell me. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, brilliant question. Thank you, Theo. what to do when you have a similar or a regular sounding voice. It's your delivery that makes the difference. You see, the reason why people kept on reaching out to you and we're asking you, was it you who did this or was it you who did that? Is because they hear you, but hear you in a different way. So another thing you could also do is find out the people who sound like you and find out what they are not bringing to the table, and then bring that to the table. I hope you understand what I mean. As in, so not everyone will be proficient with everything. Take the things that make them them, study them, overshadow them, and then bring things that they don't do and stand out on them. The thing about it is that over time, people change. If I remember clearly on your Instagram, you either got married recently or so.
Yes, that's true.
Good. So there's going to be a change in your voice very soon because obviously children come with changing of the voice. Once
Yeah.
that change starts to come, get ready for your adaptation. Be ready to change with it.
Mm.
Because your tone will change, your interpretations will change. The way you see, become that mother hen of the people who sound like you. Oh God. Oh no. It will, and when it changes, adapt. So that when everybody remembers, like, yeah, it sounds like, but no, this is few. It sounds like that, but no, this is few. You know, okay, so hear the way she says these words. And I feel they talking like this now. That should be how they remember you. That's how they should remember you. I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Eric. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Yes, pregnancy does change the voice. I've not been pregnant, but I know I know a lot of people whose voices changed as they got pregnant. Let's see. No more questions.
Okay, do we
So
have
should I
more?
assume that Hmm?
Okay, let me see what I can add. Just a cheeky question.
Okay.
So for people starting out in voiceover, would you advise they stick to a particular genre that they have more, for example, in the demo reels, they have more strength in to push with that in their way of leveling up before they can, try everything or try other things? Or should they just find a way of matching everything and moving together?
So I have a varied response to this. I think it's in the same way you have differences in the individual. I also believe that it's also different with your approach. There's this proverb we used to have when I was growing up. Your 10 o'clock is not everybody's 10 o'clock. So where you enter from might not be where someone else enters from. Let me give you another, let me elaborate. Right now, it's about 7:14 in the evening, Lagos time. It's not 7:14 in Ghana. It's not 7:14 in the UK. It's not 7:14 in America. It's not 7:14 in China or New Zealand. Everybody comes into this business at different times of their lives. And the same way you're different, you can't have the same approach. Now, I believe that when you come into the business as a newbie and you find a mentor and a coach, they will guide you according to your abilities. But the natural steps would be find a coach, get training, get a demo. Now, your coach will be the one to tell you, I believe your voice can work on multiple genres. Or I think your voice is best suited to this genre. At the end of the day, it's your marketing skills that will determine what genres you dip your foot in. I'm an excellent storyteller, but I cannot stand audiobooks. The ability to sit down one place and read 1,000, what was that? It's 10,000 words. For what now? I love telling stories. Just don't tell me how many words. I can start reading the story without realizing it, but the minute you mention how many words, I don't. But I do everything. But I didn't start doing everything all at once. I found out the ones I was great at, and I put more of my efforts there while I was learning other things. And then, as I got better and better in different genres, okay, I've added that. Okay, that's a good thing. But you could naturally already have those abilities. It's up to your coach or mentor to find those parts out. That's why what we do a lot of times when we have new talents, we give them multiple kinds of scripts. Why? Because we're trying to figure out what kinds of scripts you're good at. And if it turns out that you're good at multiple kinds of scripts, then you try the multifaceted approach. But if you try it and you realize that, okay, this is something you're good at, you're not good at the others, you tell the artist, grow with these, start with this one. I hope that answers your question. All right.
Yes, it does. Any more questions, guys? If no more question, it's a wrap for this session. And
wrap up, is it wrap of Eba or?
Our faces and our choices of food are different. So any wrap that works with you, it's okay as long as you're eating something. Thank you so much, the Maximus, for a wonderful, impactful session. We are so much grateful. We are so much thankful, and we welcome you. Sorry, we are happy to have you as a Gen Z. No matter how much you want to paint it, we're happy to have you as a Gen Z. You are part of us.
I was Gen Z before you. Not go there.
Agreed. Agreed. So thank you all for joining. We'll be doing this again next month. But thank you so much all for joining. Voiceverse is here for you. T-Code is unable to speak at the moment, and his message is thank you. That's his message. He's thankful, and the Maximus is grateful that you showed up. It's also nice to see you, David Attar. We know you as well. Thank you so much for joining. Just a quick announcement. The Voiceverse community meeting, our community hangout that happens every Wednesday on Clubhouse continues next week. And also next week is practice script time, the time to test out script. So we'll be sending out a script by Monday. So do well to be part of that and engage, because Voiceverse is all about amplifying and making you better. A moment to, everyone should just please, one more time, appreciate the Maximus. Please drop your thank yous, drop your felicitations, and all the love. Yeah. Yes, I'm seeing all of that, the emojis. Thank you so much. Any last words? St. Maximus, any last words for us? So that we can just...
I look forward to a time when your generation will take up the mantle and deliver excellent, brilliant work. Especially from these set of people. Especially from this Voiceverse, this set of people. I look forward to a time when that you guys are the ones paving the way for the industry.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you want to say anybody, you want to unmute your mic, you want to flex your voice, if possible, just say one word. Probably you can say it to St. Maximus, before we just close the room, because this room will be closing in the next 20 seconds. So do well to do that. I'm counting, guys. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, guys. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.